Elizabeth Cott went back to the doctor 3 months later. Remember, she implemented everything. She was diligent. The doctor looked at her blood tests, looked at her, and he said, just keep what you're doing and come back in 6 months. What did he say on the first visit? You got to do chemo immediately. This is serious. She said, okay. After 1 year, she had another scan. Tumour was totally gone. After 6 weeks, Elizabeth Cott started to implement a little bit of fruit, a little bit more carbohydrate. She was very diligent. She would ring me, Barbara, am I right? Will I do it this way? I said, well done, Elizabeth. I think it took about another 10 months. The other tumour had gone. She's lost weight. She's off her blood pressure medication. She doesn't have her sleep apnea machine on at night anymore. She said after the second tumour went, her husband just came in and smiled and just touched her. He's got his wife back. He's not going to lose his wife now. It's 5 years later now. Elizabeth Cott is giving lectures. She's giving cooking classes. She looks amazing. She said, I feel better now than I felt in my 40s. In every case, there can be slight differences. So I'd like to also tell you about Eileen. Eileen came to us with breast cancer. She was late 50s. She chose to do the natural way. Some people say, I chose to do the natural way and it didn't work. I say, which way did you choose? Because there are many healing arts. With breast cancer, it was absolutely essential that she balance the hormones. You cannot get cancer in the ovaries, the uterus, the breasts, if the hormones are balanced. So with all cases of reproductive cancer, must balance the hormones. So she went on the Anna's Wild Yam Cream to balance that. She implemented all of this. She's the wife of an Adventist pastor in Australia. She would ring me every few weeks, Barbara, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? She also began to put castor oil compresses on the breast. Castor oil penetrates deeper than any other oil, and wherever it penetrates, it can break up lumps, bumps, adhesions. It'll even break up a bone spur, but it'll never break up your bone. How does it do that? Well, that's one question we'll ask God in those heavenly courts, is that right? All I can tell you is that Psalm 104 verse 14 states that God gave herbs for the service of man. So when the herbs come in, they work with you. They know that that's an unnatural formation and they'll break it down. So little by little by little, the castor oil will break it down. This is not overnight. This is not after a week. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And also with breast cancer, it's important to make sure what's touching the breast is natural fibre. I challenge you ladies, try and find a bra made out of natural fibre. And the underwire bras are dangerous because breast tissue is lymphatic tissue and it cleans into the nodes under the arm. And there's a very effective gate there that stops that cleaning process. Can you see how there can be many factors coming in? That's why every case is different. Every case, the detective hat has to be put on. Look at the history, look at the emotions, look at the house they lived in. One lady, only 35, she came to us very advanced cancer. She only lived another 3 months. She was living in a mouldy house. She had no idea that the mouldy house could be contributing to her cancer. It's very sad. When someone comes to with cancer, I say to them, we've seen 3 outcomes. Number 1, we've seen people turn around. Number 2, we've seen 3 months go to 6 years. Number 3, we've seen the last days made more comfortable. Some people come with very advanced. And whenever they do pass, a few weeks later or a few months later, their wife or husband rings us and says, thank you so much. Thank you so much that they died with dignity. because of the natural things that we did. So at every stage, there's always a plus. So let me go back to Eileen with the breast cancer. A year later, she said, Barbara, I've just had a test, but I can't understand the medical terminology. So she read it to me. I said, Eileen, you're cancer-free. She said, really? I said, yeah, that's what the report says. It's gone. Does that mean that she can go straight back to the sugars and the... No. And we've seen that happen twice in the years we've been helping people. 2 people conquered their cancer, tumours totally gone in both cases. And the little Filipina lady, she went back to her white rice and her fried foods and her fish. And within a year, the tumours had returned. And unfortunately, she didn't recover that second time. One man, he totally conquered it. He had tumours on his liver, and the scan showed all gone. And then he was asked to renovate a little old church, and the lacquer that he used was highly toxic. That was enough to take him down. So you can see that in every case there are slightly different factors that come together. For some people, the emotional factor is a large part. For some people, the emotional factor is only a small part. With Elizabeth Cott, she loved God very much. She didn't have anger in her heart at all. It was her big meringue desserts. So now when they asked her to make a dessert, she says, I love you too much to make that dessert. I'll make you an apple strudel with spelt flour sweetened with maple syrup. Isn't God good? Food should be good. No wonder Hippocrates said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food.